Hello, everybody. This is Rev Sue Frederick, and we are doing our angel discussion in our Patreon group. And today I'm starting with a download that I received this morning from the angels. And I just want to remind all of you that all of us are always surrounded by angels with pure love, and that all of us can download automatic writing from those angels whenever we choose to. And this is something that we did so beautifully in our 33-day class that we did in October, 33 days of angelic wisdom. And everyone in the group received downloads from the angels. And I urge you to use that Angel Up journal. You can get it on Amazon to do your own writing, have your own angelic prompts. But today, my prompt was, Dear angels, tell me what I need to know today and what I need to share with others. And here is what they wrote. Excuse me. Beloved, your problems are our problems. We stand beside you in the dense earth realm always. Perhaps you're not used to being deeply loved and truly seen as your greatest self. But this is how we see you. You may shun or ignore us if love makes you uncomfortable, but we are still here, seeing you, loving you, and lifting your burdens. Try to feel this love from us, to accept our unconditional nurturing. We know that these feelings may, for most of you, be uncomfortable because perhaps you had a troubled childhood or received very little true love as children, and perhaps less true love as adults. So our presence can make you uncomfortable. Yet in the heavenly realms, you knew pure unconditional love perpetually. You received it freely and gave it freely. It's only your time in the difficult earth world that makes you suspicious of anything loving and true offered to you freely. But love on earth is not the same as love in the heavenly realms. The God source that feeds all of us is an endless source of unconditional love. This love flows through us to you every day of your lives on earth. And you must change your ability to receive it. We understand why humans turn away or find this love difficult to receive. But no matter how low your energy goes on earth or how closed off you try to make your heart, we can endure it all and still provide our nurturing love for you. It never stops. The only thing that blocks it is your own awareness that comes from pain. Right now, close your eyes and breathe in this sweet energy of true unconditional love. Take another breath, remembering that all is well with your soul. And now, another breath, trusting that we are beside you, helping you minute by minute, moving with you through your earthly challenges. Yes, we know all the problems you face. We are lifting you up to move through them with more grace and love and comfort than your human self can believe is possible. You are not alone and have never been alone. Breathe into our presence, open your heart, and receive our love. This changes everything for you. And that was my download from the angels today. So, um, I was going to also read a few questions I got too, and then we'll go into um, your questions. So, one of the questions I got was, how do or can angels help us connect to our departed loved ones? And I think that's a great question. And in fact, I used to teach all the time decades ago. I taught grief intuitive coaches, and what they were doing was feeling into their departed's energy and connecting. And so, this question of how do the angels help us connect to their departed is a wonderful question. And here is my answer to that. Because the angels come from the heavenly realms and still exist in the heavenly realms, our departed are, of course, in full embodiment in the heavenly realms. And it's when we can shift our energy up to a little higher frequency that we can see and feel them so vividly that we know that they're real. And I get to do this every day with clients when I do my 90-minute sessions and lift the client into the higher realms where they get to hug them and feel them. But when we're here on earth and we're not, our frequency is not lifted up, the angels are here still, helping us, healing us, helping us accept that our beloveds are with us, giving us signs. When you see those double numbers, triple numbers, master soul numbers, this is the angels going, look, you're not alone. You're being guided. Your departed loved ones are here too. They help make the connection for us, especially when our energy is low, if we're in pain or grief or sadness. And the minute we allow the angels to help us shift up to that higher frequency, then of course we can see and feel and even touch our beloved departeds. I've had so many moms tell me when we do this trip into the heavenly realms that they really felt the arms of their beloved around them. And so it's so real when we shift up to those higher self and energies. And by the way, all of us have our own higher soul still fully immersed and connected in the heavenly realms, which means that when you came to earth, you squeezed your huge, powerful soul down into a tiny earth body in a tiny earth realm, but your higher soul is still mostly in heaven with God, with the angels, with sacred wisdom, with your departed. So think of lifting up to connect to your own higher soul as a as maybe an easier way to know that you can connect to your departed. Because if you just close your eyes and you say, angels, lift me, love me, you feel your own frequency lift up to your higher soul. You're surrounded by angels, feeling the unconditional love of God, and your departeds are right there. All right, on that note, what questions do you all have today? Don't forget, you have to unmute. Oh, Susie?
We have a question. So, I feel like now I'm more getting more aware of the guidance of my angels, and it's just so weird that I don't go to. I know what I know now, and I believe it. I trust it. As I was doing something, and something happened to me, and I was a little bit confused because I was listening to something. I had my headphones, and as I'm vacuuming, I was just doing my own thing. And all of a sudden, I feel this. It was like a breeze that made me go into my son's room. Like I had to open the door, and I was just so confused to what happened. And as I get in the room, I get this. My son just talked to me. He said,
Oh,
"Mom." And he said, "Mom," he said to me. did you see my room now? My room is the cleanest room in your house. And then he started laughing. And then I just thought it was funny. So I got out of the room. But I was just really kind of like I couldn't process it because I know what I felt.
Yeah,
The breeze that made me open it. I
yeah,
don't even know why I opened it. I was listening to something really concentrated on what I was listening to. I wasn't even thinking about anything. And then I felt this breeze that made me open the
yeah.
door and go
Well, that's a
inside the room.
wonderful gift from your son. It's a wonderful gift from your son. Even though you say you were just vacuuming, your mind was peaceful because you
Yes.
were listening to music or whatever and you were vacuuming. So your mind was quiet. That's the important part here. The minute our mind quiets down, settles down, we can receive the love and the guidance from the other realms. It is only the human mind of worry, anxiety, constant thinking that blocks our awareness that they are with us and communicating with us. So think of your vacuuming as kind of using that sound to make your mind quiet down. That's also what happens when we do a sound bath or a gong. The sound frequency coming at us just makes our mind settle down. It just quiets everything, and then we can receive. So that was a great blessing for you from your beautiful child.
Yeah, I'm really thankful, but I feel like I'm getting more of those. And I am just really grateful. And I just had to say it out loud that I'm
Yeah,
really grateful to now I feel my son. Mm, I don't always hear him, but I think I do hear a lot of messages from him now.
oh yeah,
And I'm just hoping that I'll hear more. And I know I have to practice journaling because I got a download the other day and I didn't write it down. And I thought I was just really surprised. I'm just really
yeah.
I've been just really overwhelmed. It's
Well,
like
the great thing,
in a good
yeah,
way.
the great thing about writing it down, and the reason, like this whole download I got, I'm so
Yeah.
glad I wrote it down because you forget if you don't write it down.
Yes.
And you think, oh, I had this really nice message. What was that message again? But
Yes.
if you write it down, and that's why the journal that I made is so helpful because then you can go back and read all the things that you've downloaded in the past. And it's just so uplifting. And it even restores your faith. If you're having a moment of doubt and cynicism and you go back and read all those things you've written already, you go, wow, I really was getting guidance. And it kind of lifts your energy again, gets you all inspired. So definitely try to write it down.
I am gonna do it. Thank you.
And also vacuum more, right?
Yes.
That's great. All right. Any other questions here?
Not so
Annette,
many.
good, good. Annette, how are
Not so
you?
many questions. Of course, I have to say something.
Good,
Uh,
good.
No, I just want to thank you that all of you and Susie also for that reminder. That in a busy time, especially now, and everybody is the veils is thin, but you still keep on rattling, preparing for the family to arrive, and
Yes.
it's, the craziness is starting.
Yeah.
So, but what is beautiful, um, we have a little memorial garden for my stepson, um, and planted 9 trees and fruit
Wow.
trees
That's
who are having voluptuous harvests every year. They're small trees, but now they're becoming bigger and grow. But we put a bench there with
yeah.
pillows. Now that sparkly light and that yellow leaves and the falling and my shaft of light fascination
Yeah.
is so beautiful, and he's so present through that because that is the garden for him, and his ashes are there
So
partially.
good. Yeah.
And to have this sanctuary almost reminds so directly about the angels being there every
Yeah.
single time when you're ready.
Yeah. Do you have an angel statue in that sanctuary?
No, but that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Pink.
I've always found that even just having one of
At
those little, I
present.
mean, you can get them from Amazon these days. They're not expensive. And I have them in almost every room. I have some that are like just this high, but just looking at that angel statue, it reminds you, you just go, oh yeah, breathe in that love. And I have them outside in the garden too, so that when I'm outside, I'll have that moment of quiet, of remembering. Angels are so beautiful, even if they're just a being of light or if they take this form, they are so incredibly beautiful. So even planting their images around your space can be a helpful reminder.
Helpful reminder, yeah. This light creates between these trees, this flickering, sparkling light. It's just a reminder, of course, every time, but it's the energy of Paris is so sweet and so mild and so giving as he was in life.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful to be with him.
Well, you're reminding me to tell you the story of my cataract surgery last week, the first eye, because I had no idea what to expect, but I knew that they put you into a twilight. They give you strong drugs, and they put you into a twilight where you're still kind of aware. You can hear voices and everything. So I was really looking forward to that as a way to leave my body and communicate with angels. And before I had gone into surgery, I was really connecting to my departed dad because he was always such a loving comfort, and he still is. And so I was saying, Dad, are you with me through this surgery? And then, of course, the nurse puts the medicine in me. And the next thing I remember is I'm traveling through time and space, but it's all beautiful colors. And I'm aware enough of leaving the body, that I can really look at those beautiful colors and go, yes. Because I believe, or what I've known in my own experiences, is that when we travel through the tunnel of light between realms, it is magnificent colors swirling, and those colors kind of help shift us from the earthly realm to the heavenly realm. And so I was letting those colors just wash over me, just lifting me up. And then all these doctors were around me in a circle, and this was not visual. All I was seeing visually was the colors, but their voices were the voices of angels. So I couldn't hear what they were talking about, but their sweet, loving energy, I was like in bliss, just listening, feeling so loved, feeling so lifted into heaven. It was so incredible. And then, of course, suddenly I'm in recovery and I'm waking up and I'm like going, I want to go back there. But I was still so happy. And I was telling everybody, oh, I was with the angels. I was with the angels. Well, as I came back more into my body, I was able to see. I think I've told you all the story about Trisha Barker, my friend who wrote Angels in the OR. And I truly believe that when we have surgery or doctors working on us, that there are angels guiding their hands. And she saw that in her near-death experience. She could see the angels wrapping their arms around the surgeon's hand. Well, all I saw were colors, but I heard the ring of angels' voices speaking through the doctors so that I couldn't hear their words, but I felt the angelic love coming through to me. It was so great. And as they were watching me recover in the room, they were like, "Wow, you're a great patient, like tell us what you experienced again." And they were asking me as I got more conscious, like, what is it that you do for a living? And I said, oh, I write books about angels. And they were like, we're going to go find those books. But what I'm sharing is that all of us experience this, but if you're afraid of the other realms, if you don't want to leave your body, if you feel a need to control things, which is very human, then you'll fight and resist that, even when you're in a twilight state with drugs. But if you're very used to leaving your body and you trust it and you know it's going to be an incredible experience, you open to it and you're able to go fully into it. And you don't struggle, and you don't struggle when you're coming back to your body. Like I've talked to people who had the same surgery and they said, "Oh yeah, I really came back and I was nauseous, and all this." I was like higher than a kite, And I know it's because I am so at home there and I don't doubt it. I don't feel a need to control it when my soul starts to lift out of my body. So I hope all of you feel the same. And I hope all of you, when you have an out of body experience, trust it completely. Don't fight it. Don't feel a need to control. When you see color, embrace that. You're traveling through the tunnel. And then when you hear voices, even if you can't decipher what they're saying to you, just know that it's the angels loving on you.
I think we should create a pill like that. Just kidding.
I love that idea.
But
Yes.
I mean, can you imagine the pharmaceutical industry would
I know. I know.
burst out of the waters if you would
I
get a
know.
pill? I can take an angel up pill, and
Right.
it's going. I'm
Well,
having the best experience
that was
anywhere.
something that the nurses were kidding me about. I said, "What drugs were those?" And they told me. And, honestly, it's one of the drugs was the one that many of our celebrities have overdosed on, from Michael Jackson to somebody else recently. Oh, our friend, the Friends star, I think his name was maybe Matthew Perry. Um, they were addicted to those drugs. And of course, you can understand it because once you have an out of body experience like that, it just changes everything. But what they shouldn't have done is create that experience with drugs, because we can do it without the drugs. Once we've experienced it through the drugs, it helps us know it's possible, but our bodies can't tolerate that kind of drug intervention, or it's just not gonna work. However, looking at it through the soul's lens, every soul journey is totally complete and accomplished. And I know that those beautiful souls who crossed that way, it was simply the end of their soul plan and they sensed it. And so they may have chosen to jump the gun, perhaps with drugs, but still it was their exit point. Because that exit point, that final exit point that we all have, is non-negotiable. However, some very sensitive souls can sense when it's coming and they may precipitate it, including some children that I've worked with from heaven. They say, "I felt and knew that my time on earth was complete. And I just chose to go a little bit on my own sooner." And that helps moms and parents understand their children's early exit.
One more thing to say that, of course, I didn't mean that it really should be a pharmaceutical product, because our son passed exactly on that, but I want to just say, like, in soul form, to connect something in your mind that you can actually connect and know about your soul, your big soul, something which is it's almost like a metaphor pill or something like that, which is not induced through chemicals,
Right.
but through mind shift.
But the good news about when we know that our children crossed that way, I believe it really comforts moms to know, their child was out of their body so quick. They didn't experience, like sometimes the mom will find the child and physically it looks terrible and it looks like their child suffered and struggled, but spiritually their soul of their child was out of that body way before, and traveling through the colors and seeing the angels and ascending into the heavenly realms. And I really love helping the moms remember the child is not in that scene that you found. I had a mom this week in my client sessions who, found her child after an after dose, and her mind kept going back to that trauma memory. And her child doesn't live there, and her child's whole message is, I'm not there. Quit focusing on those moments. Focus on me now, here, in spirit, in color, in light, in love. And that is such a comfort. Even with my husband, Paul, when he crossed, he was with cancer and suffering so much, and the body looked horrible in his coma. And yet he was already out of the body. He came to me hours, after he'd been in that coma saying, "Hey, I'm not in that body. Quit freaking out about this." And he said, "Come and hold me while I cross." And I did. I woke up and went and held him, and he instantly took a beautiful final breath and left his body. And we have a human story that we stick with, which is very limited and very focused on the physical body. And that is not the true story of life and death. All right. Any other questions, or should we go into a journey into the angelic realms?
I just have to say something about what you just said.
Yes.
When I found my son, he was about maybe 6 in the morning, and he still had a pulse. And a little bit later, after all the paramedics came and everything, I just knew I don't know how, but I knew he wasn't there anymore. And so later, when I found a text, he actually texted a girlfriend, maybe about 3 in the morning, and said they were talking. And then I guess he took a Xanax to go to sleep, and the Xanax was fentanyl. And so he texted him back, and then she said, "Are you awake? I'm scared. This thing happened to me." It was like a little earthquake in her kitchen.
Oh,
So
wow.
then I know now that that was him saying goodbye. So he
Yeah,
left around that time.
that's right.
And by the time I found him, even if he had a pulse,
Yeah,
his soul was already
that's
gone.
right.
And I and then it gave me peace that even though I saw him, and so I just knew that he was gone. He
That's
and then he said goodbye. So
yes.
that was just something that I thought it was just beautiful,
I love that.
knowing now.
Yeah. That is truly beautiful. And hold on. Every single soul I've loved who's crossed has come back immediately to show me how happy they are and how free and filled with love and completely restored to their own beauty, their health, their happiness instantly, even before the death is announced. And I guess I've told this a million times, but my favorite story is my dad's crossing, where he was dying of lung cancer, and our family was fighting about do not resuscitate orders. And my sister and I were going, "Of course you want to do the DNR orders. He's dying of lung cancer." And my brother's very Catholic. You do not resuscitate orders. Go figure. And so my sister and I were very upset about that because we were at peace with Dad crossing. And yet our brothers, it felt like they were going to make it harder. But now I know so much better, because here's what's happened is I knew in the hospital one day that this would be the day he left his body, and my family voted and sent me home to babysit the kids. Of course, you can understand that. I'm the frequency of the 22 going, all is well with his soul, and he's going to cross out of his body today. And they're Catholics going, get her home. She's doing the work of the devil, right? So I was sent home with the kids. And I was angry, to be honest. And I get home and I got the kids down to nap, and I sit down to meditate. And instantly my father is in form in front of me. My eyes are closed and I'm meditating, which means I've quieted the mind. That's all I was doing was mantra, quieting the mind. And instantly he's right there, and he is young, happy, and healthy because he had been sick. So he wasn't joking around. He wasn't his funny self in the last year or two. And now here he was in front of me, making us laugh, joking around, being so funny. And I was like, with my eyes closed, going, Dad, you goofball, what are you doing here? And then I kind of went, wait, what are you doing here? And opened my eyes and I realized what he was doing there. And I picked up the phone and called the hospital room. And my brother said, he's having a heart attack and they're doing CPR on him. So they had not proclaimed him as dead yet. He was under having all this terrible CPR intervention happening, but his soul was not there. And he came to show me how free and happy and restored to his own great health and highest self he was. That is the greatest shared death experience ever, the greatest gift he could have given me, because now I know for sure that when our beloveds cross, they are way out of the body before any kind of trauma is going on there. And I offer that as such a healing message to all of you. They are not there. All right, babies, do you want to go on a quick meditation? I guess that's a yes. So I am going to cover my thing again. And let me come over here, make sure everybody's muted. And get this going. All right. So now okay, let's take 3 deep breaths. Inhale with me. And again. And again. And in this moment, we receive fully the love of the angelic realm. We do not turn away from the unconditional love that they are now pouring into all of us while we still stand in the earth realm. We open ourselves, we open our hearts, we look up with our faces and our eyes closed, and we feel that beautiful, unearthly, unconditional love pouring down upon us. Even if we've never received this or felt this on earth, we receive it, we believe it, we open to it. As it washes over us, it feels like a warming bath, cleansing us of our human pain, our human fear, doubt, grief, washing over us, washing that away. And now the angels lift us up right into the tunnel, reminding us to accept these swirling colors of the tunnel of light. See them now, beautiful jewel tones of rose and purple and green and golden and blue, washing over us. These colors wash away our earth pain, our earth trauma. Embrace the colors Now the angels greet you at the opening of the tunnel, and they pull you into the angelic realms. This is your most comfortable place in the heavenly realms, filled with the softest light, the softest love, the deepest colors. Feel the angels with you, healing you. They're moving their energy, their being over your entire body form so that they can remove anything that needs to be removed, anything that holds you down. They are realigning your energy chakras, your energy centers, so that when you return to Earth, you are attuned to a higher frequency. Feel this right now. Accept it. Bask in it. Know that this is your rightful state, even as you come back to the earth realm. Being immersed in sacred love is your birthright. The human realm is a low density realm. There is so much pain and hurt and sorrow there. But when you remember that you are part of the angelic realm, that you are surrounded by love, that unconditional love pours through you always, your light becomes brighter than anything around you in your earth life. And that is all you ever need to realize. Now, the pains of earth life cannot touch you. You walk through life in your own higher frequency, healed, uplifted, illuminated, accepting God's love, accepting angelic guidance, accepting the presence of your departed. Feel that now. When you return to Earth today, you will carry this with you no matter what comes your way. And when you need to refresh or restore, you will allow the angels to lift you out of your body. All you need to do is take a deep breath and ask to be lifted. Angels, lift me, love me. And they will rise you up through the tunnel of colors and light and into the angelic realm, where you will feel their magnificent presence, and you will not turn away from their nurturing love. Right now, take one more sip of that love. Bask in it. Let it heal you. Let it uplift you. Yes, this is your soul's true energy when it's not weighed down by your human body and your human mind. But now you have learned how to restore this awareness, even on earth. So we thank the angels, we thank our departed, we thank the God source of unconditional love, We take another breath. We let the angels carry us back through the tunnel of colors and light. We don't resist any of this experience. We release our human control. We surrender to the soul's wisdom. And now we move back down, taking a deep breath back into the earth body. Inhale. And again. And again. And as we come back to our human selves, we feel very different in our body, and we feel very uplifted and restored. And this is the energy that all of you will carry not only through today, but through your life whenever you remember that you are more than an earth body, more than a human, more than just the density of this earth realm that we walk through. And so it is. Thank you all so much. It's been wonderful to see everybody. And I get to go through another surgery on Thursday. So I'm very grateful. I'm going to have more time out of my body. All right. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Love you. Thank you so
Very
much.
well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wonderful.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye-bye.